two. Hello, LifeVantage. Darren Jensen here, joining you from a different location today. Normally I say live from our global headquarters, but today is from my home office here. Quite often they say that this looks like the Dr. Evil chair, you know, but anyway, it's kind of decorative, I guess. But anyway, I'm joining you from my home here in Utah, and it's good to have you with us today on a continuation of our Doctors series. Before we get to our guest physician today, I just wanted to welcome everyone here. And again, for all of you that may be joining us from the Gulf Coast, from Houston, or from even Louisiana's getting pounded with hurricanes, we just want to send you our best wishes and stay safe out there. All right, today, as part of our program, we always give away free product. Today we're going to be giving away a Nerf 2. We're going to be giving away Nerf 2. So when you come in, if you want to put down your name, your telephone, not your telephone number, I take that back, your name, your city and state, and then we'll do a drawing in a few days. So definitely your name, your city, your state, and we'll get you into the drawing. Well, with that said, let me introduce who our doctor is going to be today. It's Dr. Jessica Buehler, and she's a doctor of chiropractic, and she's in South Dakota. And she's been with LifeVantage now since June, so just brand new to the company. But in that, she's already moved to a Pro 4, so congratulations to her on that. Let's see. So she's also certified not only as a doctor of chiropractic, but also as an acupuncture certified. I was telling her before we came on that I don't know about needles, but it seems like getting all those needles poked into you would be kind of crazy. Maybe I'll have to try it one of these days. Well, anyway, with that, let me welcome to our broadcast today, Dr. Jessica Buehler. Jessica, welcome.
Hi.
Glad to have you with us today, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you for having me.
As I mentioned, you've been with the company only since June, so you're just recently joining us. How did you get involved, or what influenced you into joining a company like LifeVantage?
I should back up to the beginning of my story. Would probably be just researching, and very interested in learning how the human body works. And so when my best friend in 2009 had gotten a cancer diagnosis, I was in charge of her nutrition. And one of the things I studied intently was oxidative stress and mitochondrial dysfunction. And so I had already been through a lot of the science that backs up Protandim or NRF2 pathway, just utilizing it, but really hadn't found an activator that was very significant, but had heard of all the components of it too. And so anyway, her name is Deb Martucci. She's who I was introduced to LifeVantage through. She came and she started talking to me about these two pathways, and I really thought, what is happening here? Like, there isn't anything that really initiates this cascade of things, because I've looked for it and I have not found it. And so she showed me the ABC report, and after explaining, of course, and I watched the report and I said, are you telling me there's a product that exists that does this? And do you have this? And she said, oh yeah, interesting enough, I do. And I said, do you have research? And she said, we do. And I said, well, send it to me. I'll look at it. And I didn't right away, of course, still thinking it was going to be like the set of baggies that are on my desk from other companies where they want you to sell their product. Because as a chiropractor, I feel like we're kind of magnets for that. Everybody wants you to sell their product. And so Deb was emailing me, did you read through the information? And I hadn't. And I said to my office manager, well, did she send anything? Did she send research? And she says, well, she did. And I said, well, print it. I'll look at it. And so the story kind of goes from there. But I started reading some of the research, and I maybe had a eureka moment, not quite like Dr. McCord's when he discovered it, but it was really like a wow, a really big wow. Why doesn't everyone know about this, and how did I not find this? So it is just this interesting way of things, I guess.
Well, it's an interesting comment that you made, in that, how did you not know about this, or how did you not find it? As a physician, I imagine that, I mean, there's constant research that's going on. I mean, just a tremendous amount. How do doctors, because I know when I go to the doctors, you know, I always try to study on my specific condition and try to know as much as I can. I don't think doctors have that luxury to because they're seeing such a broad range of things. How do you, how can we be better, or how can we help doctors know more about this? How do we help them have their eureka moment?
You know, that's a great question. You know, and I think that it has to still be in this direct contact that it is presented, because you cannot get it, just like they found when it was in retail stores. You cannot get this information on the back of a bottle. You know, you can't read it in a brochure and believe it. You have to actually get through the research, and there's a lot of it. It's so validated. So I guess I don't have your solution, but I feel like we're on to something that more people have to share. And really, it's the importance of that is so significant. Remembering the magnitude of what you have in your hands when you're sharing is very huge. I'm not sure if I answered the question. I don't have the solution, I guess.
I guess if we did, we'd all be billionaires, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I could broadcast this, I totally would. I feel like I can't talk to people fast enough. In fact, the first few weeks, I didn't sleep, because I just kept thinking of all these people that needed to hear about this, and still have that going on, where you just know that people, once they start feeling the benefits, it is going to be one of those things that catches, and they can't help but tell people as well. So I think I think doctors will hear about it. It's a matter of getting through research, but also understanding research too. Even physicians don't always understand the research, so there is that component as well.
So you mentioned, you said the magnitude and the significance. Why don't you talk about, in your opinion, what is the magnitude and the significance of having a product that can stimulate the NRF2 pathway? What does this mean for us? For us,
okay. So we know that there isn't a magic cure for anything, right? There is no magic bullet, although people have searched for it, you know, thinking that there could be just one thing you could do that would just fix everybody's problems. And that doesn't exist. So I'm not going to say that about Protandim either. But what I will say, and this is as simply as I can possibly bring the science, and I know it's more in depth than that, and that is the part that really excites me, but I know that not everyone is excited about cell biology. So, but the part that excites me is that really we are just a bunch of cells that are really divinely designed and connected. And so with one yellow pill a day, you can activate every single cell. That is literally amazing. It is so huge. There is no system that is without being touched. And so the impact is far and extreme. And while it may not cure or treat or diagnose anything, it is very powerful to be able to go into your DNA and turn on genes that have been turned off. We still don't know why that happens, but we can affect it positively. That is so huge and so far reaching. And it's not for condition, symptoms, or disease. It's for humans, for human health and quality of life. And that's what we're all here for.
Yeah. How do you generally, as a physician, how do you share the information about, let's say, nutrigenomics? Because you've got the NRF2 pathway, you have NRF1 pathways. How do you generally share this information with others?
Well, I think probably my biggest problem, even from the start, is figuring out what not to say, because I want to tell people everything. And I know that kind of gives you that glossing over effect, because like I said, not everyone is interested in the science and not on the level that I am interested in. So it's been a challenge for me to figure out what to say and what not to say. But I think that what not is just as important as what I do share. So, I mean, I guess I in my practice, it's always about the health benefits. So I see someone, that has something going on that I really feel like this could benefit them. I bring that about, and then I share the science. So for me, it's always back to that root component, and that is that we want benefits from the expression of our DNA. And I think there isn't a person that can't benefit from that. So, and outside of my practice, it's very similar. When I'm talking to another doctor, I obviously go into more detail. I've started doing health chats in my office to try to reach more people at one time. That's really it. I'm honest. I really don't feel like I'm selling a product. I really feel like I am helping someone make a difference in their health. And for what I do, I see miracles every day in my practice, and I love what I do. And so, but I can only treat so many people in a day. I can only help so many people in a week, in a month, in a year. But every single day, Protandim works for you, and it works for you on a cellular level. And so for me, it's kind of it's a pivotal thing when I can get to the point where I can say the best thing I can do for you is to share this information with you, better than any treatment I can give you, because that treatment will be for one day, and this will be every second of every day.
So when you're talking to physicians, is there any key part of the technology that because look, a lot of people struggle with maybe sharing this information with doctors because it's kind of intimidating. I mean, you guys go to school for many, many years. You're into chemistry and biology, and you're treating patients every day. So generally the layperson is, it feels a little more intimidated about maybe recommending something to a physician to look at and get their thoughts on it. So it's great to have a physician like yourself on who talks to other physicians. What do you find that physicians are most interested about with the LifeVantage products in particular? I mean, is there certain pieces of technology or things that maybe resonate a little bit more?
Well, I think you got to, again, go back to that science component, because there really aren't any other products, whether they're a supplement or a drug, that can positively affect your DNA. And so the thing is that maybe I should be just quite frank. A lot of physicians are pretty arrogant in that, they have gone to school forever, and they want you to recognize that they have this education, and education is just knowledge. And I think it is our due diligence that we share knowledge. It's not, I'm smarter than you, and so here I am and here you are on this different level of things. I think that when you're sharing, you have to remind them that this is new. There isn't anything else like it, and that there is science that backs it up. And so the fact that you can go to PubMed and find peer-reviewed studies is awesome. it is literally awesome. You cannot take another product and type it in there and find other supplements that have that kind of rapport. So I think with knowledge comes responsibility. And so my responsibility is to share with you what I know, and maybe what you know as a lay person isn't the same extent as what you might know as a doctor, but they can sure take it to that next level.
Thank you. So before I get on to the next question, just a reminder for all those that are watching it, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it, a little bit later, we are giving away, let me try to get this on the screen. We are giving away some Protandim. If you put down your name, your city, and state, we'll make sure that we do drawing in a couple of days. We'll get you out some free products. So again, name, city, and states. Also, we've got Dr. Jess here online, and I'm keeping an eye on the live comments here on the screen. If you have some questions that you've just been dying to pose to a physician about the product, definitely put the questions down, and if it pertains to the conversation, I'll definitely ask those. With that said, I would like to remind everyone that any of the things that we say here have not been reviewed by the FDA, and that our products are not designed to treat or diagnose or cure any type of disease. So with that, Dr. Jess, let's talk about Nrf2 for a moment. A lot of information, a lot of studies on that product. How would you recommend that people use it? I mean, when should I take it? Should I take it with food? Should I take it without food? Is it better in the morning? Is it better at night? What's your experience been?
I take mine in the morning. So does my husband, and my oldest child takes it as well. And my next two take half a tablet, even though it's not recommended for children, or not suggested, I guess, on the label unless you're over 18. But all of my family take it, and we take it in the morning. My kids eat breakfast with theirs. I take mine on an empty stomach. So does my husband. And I have had different people that need to take it with food, but I think that the importance is that you get it in, not necessarily when you're getting it in. But for me, I want that antioxidant power during the day when I'm producing all those free radicals. So that's, I guess, for me, why I take that in the morning.
Okay. I'm looking down here. I see, I'm looking at, let's see, Patty Goolsby. She says, what do you say to patients if they don't feel anything? So I know when I started using Protandim, I didn't necessarily feel it. I feel it more when I go off of it, but I didn't feel it when I started taking it. Mm-hmm. How do you talk to some of the people that you work with about the product when they get on it, if they don't feel anything immediately? How do you counsel them on that?
So what I tell people is that you remember that we're activating the cells, and so we want our cells to function better. And we typically don't feel dysfunction. We don't feel cell damage. We don't feel the effects of that until it's cumulative, and so cumulative that then we end up with what? With a condition, a symptom, or disease. And so when we're reversing that, when we're reversing the effects of cellular damage, you're not going to feel a cell getting better. You're not necessarily going to feel that. And it also depends on your oxidative load to begin with. How high was your oxidative stress when you started? So we want that, we know that it's proven that we get a 40% reduction in 30 days, and cumulative effect the longer we take it. So what I tell people is you have a month for every decade to get to that, what would be maybe considered a trial period. But why would you want to just try it? It's proven science to improve the functioning of your cells. And what I want is better quality of life and better functioning at a cellular level. And so, why are you taking it? What is your why? If you don't know your why, You know what? I have patients that come in with lists and lists of things that they're taking, medications and supplements. And do you know why they take them? Most of them don't know why, but usually it's because someone told them that they should. But is there proven science to back it up? Maybe, maybe not. So if you don't know your why, then it becomes less important to you. But if you understand some of the science, the why is already there. We need activation at the cellular level, and I want that for me and my family and anyone I care about.
Okay, thank you. Let me just pose a question to everyone who's watching us now, because Sandra Lopez asked me, what did I feel when I went off of it? But let me pose a question to everyone out there. Those of you who felt something when you started taking it, put a number 1 in the comments. Those that didn't necessarily feel anything, and were more like me, I just feel it when I go off, put a number 2. I just kind of want to get an idea of what people's experience has been. Dr. Jess, can you see any of the comments? I don't know if you have access to the comments over there or if it's just me.
I can't.
Okay.
Pop up every once in a while. There's some that popped up.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a bunch of 1s right here. I see some 2s. I see 3 2s, but I see a bunch of 1s.
Can I mention something else about feeling, right? This is just from a chiropractic standpoint, but our nervous system, our awareness of what we feel, if you dissected a nerve, 90% of that nerve would be for things that we don't feel, for automatic functions in our body, for our muscular tissue, and only 10% of every single nerve is designed for sensation, and that's every sensation that we are aware of. And so pain or discomforts, or what are you expecting to feel? You know, we really are only aware of about 10% of what our body does. So what is the other 90%? That's where you want the improvements anyway. Function, muscular relaxation and contraction. We need function. So it's not all about what you feel and how you feel anyway.
Great. I'm just watching a lot of people here. Like Lori is saying, she put I just posted up there, long string of 1s that they felt it. Anyway, most people are feeling it, it looks like, which is great. All right. So Dr. Jess, I don't mean to put you on the spot on this, but maybe I know that you're super passionate about product, that you're a science person, you're super passionate. If you were talking to me and we're just friends and you started talking to me about using, and you can choose any of the LifeVantage products that you want, or combinations of them, because I think we think about our product line incorrectly in that we just look at one product sometimes, just Nerve 2. When, you look at the microbiome and ProBio, which is, incredibly important, and Nerve 1 and Nerve 2, and there's just a lot of products. How would you talk to me? What would you tell me about the products? What do you think it would be important for me to understand? And the reason why I ask this is I think it will be helpful to all of us that watch this to kind of understand your passion and maybe some of the things that you see as a physician as being important about the products. Do you mind doing that for us? I don't want to put you on the spot, or don't feel like
No.
I didn't want to. But yeah, just tell us about. Pitch me on the product. Talk to me about.
So obviously, if you can afford it, you would do all of it, right? That's sort of the start of it. It's like, well, what do I use? So I feel like if I feel like it's important to me and I'm using it, so why wouldn't I recommend somebody do what I do? So I always explain by what I do. I use all of the products. I love the skincare line, which again, that's a bonus, but I really start with foundation. So what I start with is the fact that I feel like everyone should be taking NRF2. So that's the minimal component. That's everyone that's breathing. I would recommend NRF2. And if you can afford it, then the second thing I would add on is NRF1. And then after that, then I would add ProBio. And then the fourth thing would be Axio. And so that's the foundation, those four things. For health, I think you need those four components. The only thing I take in addition to LifeVantage products is fish oil. So that's just me and my health. But so what I would then say is that NRF2, we're bringing down the cellular damage. We're turning on all the good and turning off all the bad. With NRF1, we are really getting into the mitochondria. So we're giving our body the powerhouse that you want it to have. You want energy, you want better sleep, you want better nerve function, you need NRF1. And so, and depends on the person. If there's a condition that is pertinent to that, I'll explain even more. ProBio. Okay, I've been probiotic pusher for a long time. So when this one came out with an enteric coating, I just kind of think that for some reason you guys have sort of some kind of intuition into my brain and you want to think just like I think before it happens. But the lining, wow, huge. 60 to 70% of the organisms get into your gut where we want them in the first place to give all of the benefits that come. And then most people say, well, what do you mean, what benefits? And so why would you take a probiotic? I say there's four main reasons, although there's a plethora more than that. But 70 to 90% of our immune system we get from those good bacteria there. Digestion, absorption of our food, lining on our gut wall so that things don't get where they shouldn't get. And then the fourth component is the fact that from an embryological standpoint, the cells that line our gut are the same as the cells within our central nervous system. Wow. So second brain is your gut. So that is huge. And then Axio. Axio is what I describe as my afternoon wall fit.
Just 1 second.
Sure.
You made a comment. You said second brain.
Second brain is your gut.
I've never heard that, but I was just reading an article maybe 2 days ago that it said that studies now are linking anxiety. People who suffer from anxiety, they're linking it to problems in their digestive system. Yeah, and so when you just said second brain, I'm like, whoa, wait a second. That ties in with the study. Can you just expand on that? Because that's one of the first times I've heard that. Maybe give us just a teeny bit more information.
So then again, you're going back to cell biology. Embryology is so cool. How we are created. We are what? We're cells, two cells that came together. They divide, they multiplied, and they keep making more of themselves until we're this fabulous thing. So cool. But really, it's the lining of the gut that those cells, they resemble quite similarly to the ones in our brain and our spinal cord. They are not found anywhere else. Brain, spinal cord, and gut. The same types of cells. So that really is, so when other people will consider the second brain, how about gut instincts? Go with your gut, that feeling of going with what you really truly feel is in there. Well, you're using your gut-brain connection all the time. Our thoughts affect our gut too. That connection goes back and forth. So huge component. The microbiome is a very big deal.
Well, let me pose a question to all of those that are watching it. If you use ProBio in combination with, let's say, the Protandems, why don't you put a number 1 up, just so I can see how many out there are using the ProBio. I know for me, that is a standard. I'm taking that daily because, I mean, just the technology that we have of those balls. And when I first started, swallowing those round balls, I mean, it's kind of a little hard because normally I've got about 10 different things that I'm taking at once. But I talked to Dr. Chevreau. I said, is there any way we can make these flat or easy to swallow? She said, yeah, but then it ruins all of the patent and technology to actually get it to go where it needs to go. So then I just suffered through it. And now that we made them smaller, it's made it a lot easier.
My 4-year-old can swallow them. You can swallow them.
Oh yeah, I swallowed those. I swallowed my Nerf 1, Nerf 2. I swallowed the fat burn and the cleanse, and yeah. So I've got about 14 that I'm gulping down at the same time. Hey, I'm looking at the comments. So far, everyone here is posting up that they're using the ProBio with it. But thank you for pointing out that whole gut issue. I mean, as I'm constantly reading more and more about it, and it's incredible information. Now, I have noticed several people have been posting up that when they're using the Protandim, that they're sleeping better or deeper or more vivid dreams. Is there some relationship there? Or just because I've seen multiple people state it, I think that I thought I might ask you, are you aware of any connection there?
So again, Nerf 1, remember, is for our mitochondrial repair, mitochondrial replication, and ATP for the mitochondria. Well, mitochondria are obviously in every cell, but in significant quantities in our central nervous system and our peripheral nervous system. So it's nerves. Think about that. We're getting our nerve cells to work better too. And so what happens to your brain when you give it more engines and give it more gas? Well, it functions like it should. We deserve restful sleep, and getting more mitochondria in the nervous system is huge, really huge. Again, back to that magnitude of the product. I think sometimes we forget when we're talking to somebody about a product that we're not selling a product. We're sharing science. This is so huge. These components are very big. So I can't say that enough, I guess.
Okay. I'm just looking up at the clock, and just so everybody understands, Dr. Jess is fitting us in between her busy schedule. She has patients that she's working with, and she's carved out a little bit of time in between. So we're trying to get it in between her available time. And so, kind of as a final question. For all of those that will watch us, watch this video, and we'll have tens of thousands that view it. What do you think are the most important things that you want them to take away from your experience, from your experience with the product and your understanding of the product? What are the most important things you want us to know?
Most important. Ooh.
Yeah, if you had to summarize it, just say, look. Here are some of the most important things I want you to understand, just so that we've got them clear in our minds.
So I think it all goes back. I think it all goes back to the science. You will not find other products that have what this company has, and nothing else can affect our DNA the way that these products do. So we're touching every cell. We can affect every cell in multiple different ways. That is amazing, and our cells deserve to function better. And this is just another tool in your toolbox that is going to be huge and significant for the health of those that you share and care about. So I guess for me, for those that have went before us, and for those that are here right now, it's quality of life while we're here. And this is probably one of the biggest things. For me anyway, it is the biggest thing I can share with someone. And so I truly feel that this is something that we should be considered blessed that somebody shared it with us, that they took the time to share it, that Deb took the time to share it with me. I feel that need to share it with everyone else.
Thank you. And for all those that are watching us, if you could just go into the comments and type in some hearts, push some hearts Dr. Jess's way for taking some time with us today, or put a bunch of number ones. We'll consider that a heart or whatever. Just let her know how much you care, because I mean, what I like about LifeVantage is we have incredible, reputable professionals like Dr. Jess that take time out of their day from seeing patients to come and share what their experience has been with the product and their understanding of the science. And, it's people like Dr. Jess that I think what make are some of the key components of what make LifeVantage great. So Dr. Jess, thank you. And just a reminder, everyone, remember we're giving away some Protandim. Make sure you put your name, your city and state down, and we'll do a drawing in a few days, and hopefully you'll win some products. And again, Dr. Jess, thank you for taking the time with us today and sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, if you just want to hold Dr. Jess for a moment, let me just end the broadcast and then I'll have a few more words. So everyone, thank you very much. Thank you for spending some time with us today. Remember about our broadcast tomorrow. Tomorrow we continue on with our Leaders series, and we have Pro 9 Fred Graves, and we'll be starting at 1:15 p.m. Mountain Time. So till then, thanks everybody. See you later.